right, boys and girls, this may be the shortest booking forward that I've done so far because we're looking forward to what's coming out next month. However, it may also be the most top heavy. Basically, that means that there's not as many books that I'm looking at this month that I'm like, oh, I'd really like to read that. However, there is a bigger than usual percentage of them that are, I need to read that. And we all know those are two different things. Your TBR will attest to that. All right. Right off the top of the bat, leadoff hitter, we've got Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. If you don't know about that, let me go ahead and quote Santo Domingo de la Calzada, which I probably butchered, 1532, London 1827, Boston 2019. Three young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. Yes, this is a book about vampires. I have already read it. I can tell you it is absolutely worth picking up. And if you want a little bit more, I do have an interview that I did with V.E. Schwab that'll be dropping on June 9th because I believe this book comes out June 10th. So dropping the day before. Check it out. You're going to want to read this one. Second book, The Witch Roads by Kate Elliott. Another one I was lucky enough to read ahead of time. You're going to want to pick this one up too. Status is hereditary, class is bestowed, trust must be earned. When an arrogant prince and his equally arrogant entourage get stuck in Or-Letter Halt, as part of brutal political intrigue, competent and sunny deputy courier Ellen, once a child slave meant to shield noblemen from the poisonous Paul, is assigned to guide him through the hills to reach his destination. When she warns him not to enter the haunted sires, the prince doesn't heed her advice, and the man who emerges from the tower isn't the same man who entered. The journey that follows is fraught with danger. Can a group taught to ignore and despise the lower classes survive with a mere deputy courier as their guide? I already did a review for this one. I believe this one's coming out June 17th. Don't quote me on that one. No, that one's also coming out June 10th. Like I said, this month is top heavy. Another 5-star book. Absolutely loved it. You're going to want to pick it up. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of this third book that's coming out. It's called A Far Better Thing by H.G. Perry. That's coming out June 17th. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell meets A Tale of Two Cities in H.G. Perry's A Far Better Thing, a heartrending fantasy of fairy revenge set during the French Revolution. English. I feared this was the best of times. I hope it couldn't get any worse. The fairy stole Sidney Carton as a child and made him a mortal servant of the fairy realm. Now he has a rare opportunity for revenge against the Fae, and Charles Darnay, the changeling, left in his stead. It will take magic and cunning, cold iron and realm silver to hide his intentions from humans and Fae and bring his plans to fruition. Shuttling between London and Paris during the Reign of Terror, generations of violence begetting violence lead him to a heartbreaking choice in the shadows of the guillotine. Or guillotine, depending on where you're from. All right. I'm about halfway through that one. If nothing changes, that's going to be another 5-star read. This month is ridiculous. All right, one I have not read yet, but I'm interested. Fox is coming out by Joyce Carol Oates. Who is Francis Fox? A charming English teacher new to the idyllic Langhorne Academy, Fox beguiles many of his students, their parents, and his colleagues at the elite boarding school, while leaving others wondering where he came from and why his biography, again, I can't speak today, is so enigmatic. When two brothers discover Fox's car half submerged in a pond, in a local nature preserve, and parts of an unidentified body strewn about the nearby woods, the entire community, including Detective Horace Zwender and his deputy, begin to ask disturbing questions about Francis Fox and who he might really be. Not a fantasy, this one, although it does kind of have a dark academia feel to it. I want to read this one. I haven't gotten to it yet. I can't tell you anything about it. But it's on the list. I'm just saying it's on the list. And again, I told you this was a short week. I've only got one more. There are a couple of books coming out in paperback, but they're not brand new because the hardcovers already came out. There's a new Shauna McGuire paperback coming out. I don't remember which one it was. And I also know Jen Lyons, The Sky on Fire is coming out in paperback, which I love the hardcover. So, that one, if you've been waiting on the paperback, that's going to come out. But the last brand new book that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm actually about Quarter of the way through this one, John Wiswell's Wearing the Lion is coming out. Sometimes a goddess's worst enemy is her biggest fan. Heracles, hero of Greece, dedicates all his feats to the goddess Hera. If only he knew that his very face is an insult to her, as he is yet another child that Hera's husband Zeus had out of wedlock. Anti-Hera loathed every minute of Heracles' devotion until she snaps and caused an unspeakably tragic accident, the death of his children. Plunged into grief and desperate for revenge, Heracles is determined to find the god that did this. Racked with guilt and desperate to save face, Hera distracts Heracles with monster-slaying quests only to find that he is too traumatized to enact more violence. Instead, Heracles cares for the Nemean lion, bonds with the Lernaean hydra, and heeds the Cyrenian hind. I don't know if I said that last one right. All right. Each challenge adds a new monster in Heracles' newfound family, a family that just might lay siege to Mount Olympus. Again, I'm about 25% of the way through that one. I will be having John Wiswell on. It's going to be recorded, but yeah, we're going to drop that on June 16th. This is another June 17th book. So June 10th and June 17th are ridiculously heavy laden. You've got a bunch of books to pick up. I'm not saying there's not more books coming out that I just haven't seen yet that I would love to read, but these are the ones I know of. And it's a thin list, but it's very heavy on the must-have list. So that's it. Like I said, this is a short list. I'm going to leave it at that. Hope you guys find some 5-star reads in and amongst this, and I will catch you later. And meanwhile, thanks to these people. All right.